Hey everyone, figured I'd start early so that you can always see the drink list and get your year and everything in. Looks like my bot is working okay. It's pulling in some crap I don't need, but oh well. Go up to the top and see who we have. We have KJ VMC Wolf. Welcome. It is your box tonight. Raymond, JC Lex Pam, Garrett, Michael Martin, Maple Leaf, Anthony, B. Waller, Jim Thompson, greetings from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Vanessa Homesteads, welcome. Smoker. I accidentally clicked the dual stream, so I do have the vertical going, but of course it will not show most of what we're doing. So if you're on the vertical, I've got my horizontal going. I did pick up 2 boxes of nickels and 1 box of pennies, amazingly enough. So I've got 1 box of nickels and 1 penny hunt available. You can always get those on my website. I've got the penny ones up, but I do have a penny box now. Still only 1 box of nickels from both the credit union and the bank. They got me 4 boxes of halves. I told them I'd rather have nickels, but oh well. I was sick this weekend. I started feeling not so great Friday night, and then Saturday it kind of got worse. I ended up sleeping Saturday night. Slept for 13 hours, and then Sunday night I slept for 16 hours. Yes, it's pulling the info over, so. But I'll double check it before we start that everybody's in. But I didn't go to work Tuesday, but I went yesterday and still not super great. A little bit of a cough, but at least I'm okay to do it. Monday I was thinking about streaming, but after not feeling great, I was like, no, I'm not going to stream. So I had planned on not doing it anyway, so. But I did get another box of quarters, another box of dimes. So maybe I'll have to offer something other than nickels and a penny. So if I cough and stuff, I apologize. A lot of sleep for me, yeah, that it was. Yeah, 13 hours straight, and then 16 hours straight. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know if I'll end up doing some dimes like last time. I only did a row of dimes. Probably because I wasn't feeling super great. Because like I said, Friday I started getting something And then Saturday I was almost completely lost my voice, and so it probably started Thursday night, which is why I only did that one row of dimes, but we'll be able to get through at least a box of nickels. But yes, I do have one box of nickels and one box of pennies available. So if you want one of those are on my website. If multiple people buy a slot, then we'll just put you in the backup rotation until I get more boxes. So might be able to get a few more pennies next pickup, hopefully. New Marshall, welcome. And you can probably hear in my voice that I'm a little bit different. Well, I know I'm different, but Mike, welcome. This is Wolf Metal Stacking box. And they decided to go with a nickel box. And Jim Thompson sent a high five. Thank you, Jim. So at least I think I got my bot quieted down a little bit. It's still pulling in some junk, but that's mostly like when someone had put something about, I think it was B-Waller, but you can buy a 1950D or something. It stuck that in as a guess. So obviously I'll weed those ones out, but at least it's not pulling over all the crap like it had been. So can't remember if I said welcome new Marshall, but if I didn't, there you go. We're at 18 likes with 22 people watching, so 23 people watching. Hey BH, welcome. So if you're on mobile, you can double tap that screen, and I'm assuming you meant 1928 BH. We got 28 people watching and 18 likes, so I do have giveaways at 25 likes, 50 likes, 75 if we get there, 100 when we get there. At the 100 likes, I've got the silver bar donated from Garrett. So I did accidentally click the dual stream, so if you're on the vertical, you probably won't see very much because I didn't set it up for vertical. But I do have my horizontal where all the action is. Yep, that's for when we get 100 likes. So hopefully sometime. Oh, we're at 21 likes now, but 26 people watching. If 4 of those people tapped like, I could start a 25 like giveaway. I'll probably do a halftime, like a duck race or something. That I sent that round to billing, and for some reason they decided to run it through their machine, even though I had stamped it non-machinable. So then they put it in as a package and charged an extra $6.71 or something. So basically it was like almost $9 to send that thing. So I told him I would reimburse him, because obviously a giveaway or sending something to you, you shouldn't have to pay for if it's free. He just said put it towards a extra giveaway. So Tim Ivans, welcome. Vincent, welcome. Yeah, I gotta love the Postal Service. In 9 months of live streaming and sending stuff out, I've estimated right about 300 copper rounds I've sent, and I've never had one get charged for someone. So it's like, And then the big lot of copper that I bought, the post office sent it to the zip code 10 past us. Dennis Stewart, welcome. We're 84741, and they sent it to 84751. So they got it. They put it out for delivery, and it said in Milford, and it said out for delivery in Kanab, and then it went back to processing a few minutes later. So they were probably like, wait a minute, we can't deliver Kanab. So now it went back to Las Vegas, and now I've got to wait for it to figure out when it's going to come now. So it's supposed to be here yesterday, but oh well. I see we're at 28 likes. Let's start a giveaway for a 25 like giveaway. Exclamation GAW will get you a entry on that. Exclamation GAW. If you're on the vertical, you can always go over to the horizontal. That's where more of the action is. Like I said, I accidentally clicked the dual live, so we'll see how that goes, I guess. Wasn't planning on it, but there you go. So if you're new and you're wondering what we're doing, these are drinks that are in my fridge, cold. I've actually got one out. And you also put what drink along with what you think is the oldest year of this nickel box is. I would guess at least the 40s. We always find in the 50s and 40s, but we do find in the 30s and buffaloes once in a while. We haven't found one for like 2.5 months, but those are for extra entries onto the Wheel of Names, which is a thing we do at the end of the night. So everybody that is on that wheel, I spin it, and whoever it lands on gets a copper round off my website. So that's one of those you do not have to be present to win, because it's throughout the night. So if you leave, that's okay. Ones like this, which are live giveaways, then it is obviously you'd have to be here, but if you don't claim it within a week, it goes bye-bye. I've only ever had one that was not claimed. And it was on a exclamation GAW, and it was like, they put it in and left or something? I don't know. And when I go to end the drinks and stuff, I will make sure, sort it, make sure everybody has names and or drinks in years. So so exclamation GAW is for an entry for a copper round. show you what those are. So when you come to dadhuntscoins.com, you come to the copper tab, and these are all my copper rounds. You can see the front and backs. As I get new ones in, I add them in. You can also click on them, and you'll see the front and back next to each other. So you add it to your cart. You come up here, you'll put the discount code that I email you, and not sure why it's $1.63, but I'll have to figure that out. You put the discount code and it should be 0. Got 12 seconds left. Exclamation GAW. And it actually ran to 0, which is amazing. So the winner of the 25 likes is Garrett. Congratulations, Garrett. You know what to do. Oh, I know why that was. I was testing out a code and it had put the code in there for that. That's why. Alrighty. Jolly Roger, welcome. I'll probably close the drinks here in about a minute. So if you haven't got your drinks and you're in, please do so now. And then there is a few things I'll have to sort, but so I will close that. Now I have to find my drink list, or the live chat. I'm going to sort it, so give me just a moment here. Some of these are on duplicate lines, so I'm just deleting those. And I'll go through it here in a minute and make sure everybody is on that wants to be on. I see Bellows. Let me get you on there. I just noticed yours on there. And 1939. Crafty had Mountain Dew Baja, but there's a Baja Cabo Citrus and a Baja Tropical Lime. Don't know if you know which one you want on that, if you want to throw that in there. And I'll go down this list here. Cabo, okay. And Gatita, no, let me get yours on there. Dr. Pepper, Cherry 037. Alright, so right now I've got drinks and years from Anthony, BH, B. Waller, Crafty, David, Dennis, Garrett, JC, Jim, KJ, Maple Leaf, Michael Martin, Mike Schleiz, New Marshall, Raymond, Smoker, Jolly Roger, Tim Ivans, Vanessa, VMC, Wolf Metals, Stocking, Bellows, and Gatita. So if you did not hear your name, throw that in there real quick. I'll try to watch for that. Jim Thompson sent 5 Dad Hunts Coins gift memberships, and that went to Dale Nottingham. 9 for 9 Designs, Coining Around, Natalie Peters, and Cooter, the other white meat. Thank you very much, Jim. Everything like that helps out. Now I'm going to sort by the year or the drink. Let's see who we've got. And it looks like we had 2 people win. Barks 0. According to this, I had Garrett and Jim Thompson both guessed Barks. It kind of sounds like I'm barking, but you know. I think I have rigged as one of the emojis that you can use, if I remember right. We did have a war ender one time. First time that's ever happened, even in my own hunts. I'm not seeing anything jumping out. Got a dirty one right there, but excuse me. And we're going to be looking for our normal 50s, 40s, anything like the older ones. I also pull out the 2009s and 2024s. Those are low mintage. Right now we are counting 2026s as a find. Anybody else is buffering? Mine's not. Hey, Martin, thank you. I also pull out the 64 Denvers at the end. We go over those and look for the D over D. And both of those 64s were actually Phillies. Also look for the 63 Phillies for the triple die reverse. And I have no idea how these boxes will be because one was from the bank, one was from the credit union. Who knows if they were picked up at the same time. They do get the same delivery company, but you never know if they were days apart or not. Or weeks apart with the shipments because they get them every other week. If I'm coughing, I apologize. I was not great this weekend. Just now kind of getting enough to get over it. I went to work yesterday and, of course, today, so... Trying to make sure I try to keep it centered for those that are on the vertical one. Like I said, I accidentally clicked vertical dual. So if you're on the vertical, you're welcome to come over to the horizontal and see more of what we got going on. We have a coin cam for when we have one that we can guess. That won't show up on the vertical one. But we do guessing and like things like that throughout the night. Hopefully both metals stacking can have a good box. It is their first box, so they do get some swag. I've got pen, bottle opener, and stickers. For 64 Denver. If you've come in late, I do have one box of nickels available and one penny box available. So those are on my website. If you have multiple people get it, whoever gets in there first gets it, and then the other ones will just be on backup for when I get more boxes. So I've got enough for 2 hunts currently, which will be next Monday and Thursday. The 1st and the 4th, I think it is. We've had boxes where they start off really slow and end up really hot. And we've had them where they start off really hot, end up slow. And we've had them where they're just kind of continuous throughout the night. So hopefully this one picks up some. We will see. Really slow, just like you. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I picked up I was hoping I'd get more nickels, but they ordered halves again. So I only got one, but they said, "You want pennies, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We can give you a box." I was like, "Oh, okay." So since my kids are still working on one that they had in reserve, I figured I'll offer it to you guys. So with pennies, it's all of the Indian heads, wheat cents. I try to pull out some of the bigger varieties of like white AMs and stuff if I'm able to see them. I'm not the best at penny hunting, I will be honest, but I do look for some different varieties. Not every single variety, but any foreigns, any proofs. I think I found penny proofs before, but I know I found nickel and quarter proofs and half proofs. Brian, welcome. It's a 75 Denver, but it is not the high D. For any new members that were in here that was one of those gifted ones, you do have emojis and stuff that you can play with. I'm always on the lookout for new ones and things, so if I can keep getting penny boxes, maybe I'll have to throw some penny ones in there. So right now they're all basically for nickel stuff. My penny boxes have always usually done pretty good. When I was hunting them personally, I had a few that were like 5 or something, but a few that were in the 50s and 60s for the Wheaties. The 3 that I was able to hunt before I was cut off, I was looking, and I think we had an average of 22 finds a box. I didn't look too close at what they were, but I just kind of glanced real quick, and something like 22, I think it was. That was wheats, foreigns, stuff like that. My last nickel box had a war, a buffalo, and a 50 P&D. Nice. The 50 Denver, for those that aren't aware of that, is a key date, the lowest mintaged nickel, and the 50 Philly is a semi-key date. So finding a key and a semi-key and a buffalo and a war is pretty good. The only thing that you needed was a V nickel for the trifecta. I hate it when there's 5s that get a little bit damaged and they look like 3s. It's like, it's a 75 Denver, but it's a regular one. We have not been on buffaloes lately. We haven't had a buffalo for about 2.5 months. So one of these nights we'll get it. We did find a V-nickel a little while back. I don't know, about a month and a half ago, I think. I could pull it up and look at the exact date, but can't remember for sure. So 75 Denver, regular. I don't know where all the 2024s and stuff are hiding. The one box had, what was it, 20, and the other one had 19. Basically an entire roll of 2024s out of 2 boxes. The date was Buffalo. Sounds like me. Start with the war nickel. How about let's start with the buffalo or V nickel? We found war nickels, but we haven't found a buffalo for a while. Well, it's not a war nickel, but let's see if it'll get it to focus. There we go. So if you're on the vertical, you probably won't see that. But down here in the corner of the horizontal, it is a nickel. And you get to guess what you think the year is. If you are the closest, one way or the other, so it can be like, it's not Price is Right, it can be above or below. If you hit it exactly on and you're the only one, you get double entries. If you are the closest, you get an entry. And these are entries that go on the wheel of names. And at the end of the night, I spin that wheel. And everybody who wants on, if they're there, can get on. And that is for a 1 ounce copper round. Any of the eligible ones on my website. And that's perfect timing because that's a new one under the scope. The one that I just pulled off is a 1947, so we're already starting in the 40s. It's not too bad. Let me get that on the board, and then we'll see who won. '47, year that my dad was born. Looks like we got 48s and 46s. So unless I'm not seeing a 47, I've got Crafty at 46. I've got JC and Tim at 48. And Jim at 48. And B. Waller at 46. So I'll get those names on the board. Was there 4 or 5? I think there was. Waller, Jim. Oh, Tim. Yeah, I got B. Waller, Jim, JC, Crafty, and Tim as those. And find, there I am. I had to find where I was at. And tonight was Barks. I did notice at the store they've gotten some Mug Zero. Oh, what do we have? Jim Thompson's empty gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you, Jim. We're getting older. So 1941. At least the fines are in the 40s, which is good. But yeah, they had Mug Zero. And I was like, ooh. Raymond sent a gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you, Raymond. Let's see, we got Dennis at 39. I think Dennis is the only one. So I'm sure everybody knows Mug, but I've never seen it in Zero. So I might have to go into my collection of drinks. Yeah, it is a nice 41. Finally guessed a year right. I think one of those drinks I might be having to pull off. I think I have one can left, so I have to watch when I do that. Unless I have some hidden somewhere. If you're just kind of cruising through and wondering what we're doing, we're just hunting some nickels for old years and errors and silver and things like that. So if you're on the vertical, you're welcome to come over to the horizontal and see a lot more of the action. Another 64 Denver. So like I said, we pull those out and do those at the end of the stream. We got games you can play. You got like duel, slots, gamble. Awesome. Another 75 Denver, but it's regular. Ow. That hurt. I don't know what I did, but... So I've got plenty of rounds in. A few of you that had done some pre-order stuff, I did get some of that in. So those I've sent out. I think the only pre-order that I'm waiting on is New Marshall. That was supposed to have been here yesterday, but for some reason they decided to send my package to the next zip code. Literally, ours is 84741, and they sent it 84751. So they went to take it out for delivery, and then they turned right back around and put it back into processing, and they took it back down to Vegas last night. So hopefully it's on its way tonight, which means hopefully tomorrow. Did get a few more different ones. I've put those on as pre-order also. There's a baby dragon 5-ounce round. There's a something. Anyway, they're on the website as a pre-sale, or yeah, pre-order. I did send a that BEP pack of $2 bills. I had a order on that last night, so I packaged that up and sent it out. They asked, do you have more of those? And I said, unfortunately, no, I don't find BEP very often. But if I do, I will let them know. BEP stands for Bureau of Engraving and Printing. They're the ones who, when you see the money, they are the ones who print it. Those come from Washington, D.C. or Dallas-Fort Worth. Of course, you always want to look for error notes, the star notes. Those are ones that they messed up, so they replaced them and put a star so they don't have a duplicate serial number. I've never found a pack of star notes. That would be awesome, though. So I do have some, I haven't put any like really coins on yet. Part of that was because some of the ones I was going to put on, I did a trade for. Traded a bunch of barbers for some silver maple rounds and constitutional silver, junk silver, 90% silver, whatever you want to call it. I know some people don't like the term junk silver, but those are the names people call it, is either junk, constitutional, or 90%. And we've got another 1941. Not as good as the last one, but it's still 41. Get that on the board and then see who won. Brian, Siv, and B. Waller. Alrighty. Thank you. Because I was going to start listing those and ended up doing a trade, and worked out for both of us, so. I think I do have 3 more barbers that were needed. I just have to find them in the safe, at least according to my list. I have 3 more that you need. I am always open to things like that. So if there's certain things you're looking for and I have it, sometimes trading works out both ways. Yeah, I was really hoping for that big copper lot so that I could actually look at some of the pieces and kind of show them off. And I've got them on my website. They're pre-orders, but... And of course, if for some reason, say the package never came and you'd pre-ordered one of them, I would of course refund it. But I've never had one not come. I've had them arrive late. This one is it was a priority flat rate, and it was supposed to have been here Tuesday actually. Which would have been 5 days because of the holiday. So by the time I get it, I'm looking at about 10 days. Which is ridiculous, but that's not the oldest or the longest I've seen. I sold some stuff on eBay, sent it, and flat rate, and it took them 3.5 weeks to finally get it to where it was going and delivered. Yeah, I understand. A lot of the stuff that I did pick up on that big lot was, I guess what you'd call more higher end, expensive stuff. Could have walked it. Yeah, it was only going to Oregon too, and I'm in the West, so it wasn't like it had to go to East Coast or something. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, some of the stuff is some Geiger 500 gram, some Geiger 100 gram with American flag. Some Geiger Goldenhausen or whatever it is. Some Scottsdale Mint lines that are stackable, so they're kind of concave. Some colored rounds. I try to get a variety of stuff also, not just one thing. I mean, compared to what they're selling for, and I've got them listed, they're pretty good deal because most people want more than what I'm selling them for. But like I've told you guys, basically it's to pass savings on to you guys. Because if I can find good deals and get them for cheap enough, then I can pass them on, and you guys can do that. Yeah, these are the lions. I don't know if there's others or not, but they stack, so the lion head is kind of a raised up, and the underneath, of course, is kind of a concave, so they stack up on those. Like I've got a tube of these coming, the Schlossen Golden Gausa. This one has obviously been touched and everything, so I'm not worried about touching it. But those, I do have a tube. Those are one of those higher end kinds. $72S proof nickel, very nice. We do find proofs now and then. Oh. A little scratched up, but it's a 2026 for you. Get that on the board. Like I said, we do count them as a find for right now because they're still not widely circulated. I think that's the 4th or 5th one that we've found. Say I do have that one for BH that is, he said just hold on to it for a minute. Awesome. Well, there's two, so we'll put two different guesses. Oop, wrong one. The first one I pulled out is this one. And then we do have a second one also. There was one coin between those two. I would take boxes of 2026 nickels over 24 and 25 halves. I really need to crack some of those open. I would have more on my floor, but I got to take some of those back to the bank because I didn't have enough at that bank. So it's like, I'll have to pick them up later. Thank you, VMC. That's the new one. The one I just pulled off was a 1940. We now have our oldest. I think it was 40 is our oldest now. And I know at least one person got it. think it was Brian, if I remember right. Brian Garrett Maple Leaf. Don't know where all the 2020. Hey, Billy. And Marsh, Lori, Callie Brown's fan. I did send him an email, Billy. I haven't heard back yet on those copper. So we'll see. Hey, Super. Well, this one is a 40s. It's a 48. Now, if it's an S, because I didn't look at the back, but if it's an S, that is a semi-key date, and it's a Philly. Well, you're up to 5 finds, and they're all in the 40s. Oh, got to see who get that on there. Let's see, 48. Anybody? Got a 47. Oh, 48 with Lori. Is it just Lori? Is it Lori times 2? And Garrett says yes. And as stated before, if you hit it exactly on and you're the only one, you get double entries. Oh, and was it Jim that donated those 5, I believe, memberships? Because I try to remember to do like donated memberships and super chats and tips and jewels and stuff. I try to remember to do that. It's a harder one. Jim, okay. I was going to say I thought it was, but sometimes it's like half an hour ago, so I don't remember. Are we doing the extra round tonight? Yeah, I was going to do halftime, just a kind of a duck race, if that's good. I told him what happened, and I figure a halftime would be good. We're almost at 50, and we're not quite to the halfway point. Which, while I'm thinking about it, try to remember to mark it in red or something so that I can see it and remember to do it. That pre-summer sale I have is going to be ending on the 31st. Got your mail today. Awesome. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There we go. Hopefully it was all good and everything. So right now my pre-summer sale is 10% all off of all items in my pre-summer selection, because I'll rename it summer. So everything's 10% off, and I'll just let you guys know that next month I'm going to change that on the 1st, and it will be for every $30 of copper you buy, you get a free 1 ounce copper round out of those eligible, like the GAW ones. So it can be a mixture, it can be all 1 ounces, it can be 3, it can be 5s, it can be whatever. Thank you, BMC. It is not a 40s, it's a 54. That on the board and see, I'm sure everybody was guessing 40s, but I see at least KJ with it. And Brian. Anybody besides KJ and Brian? And Mike, okay. Mike S, thank you. But yeah, for every $30 you get a free 1 ounce round. So like I said, you can buy all 1 ounce, you can buy mixtures. But it'll automatically take it off once you hit 30 in copper. And then like I said, you add the one of the rounds out of the GAW selection, just the basic coppers, not like the colored or anything like that. So that way you can decide which way you want to go. oh, where have the buffaloes gone? Oh, where could they be? Think they were all shot and eaten and made into jerky. At least we have another find. I know some people probably wouldn't pull out some of those beat up 64 Denvers, but I like to pull them out. Just sometimes, you know, it's even if they're beat up, you can still see them once in a while. But most of the time, if they're beat up, you're not going to see them. But I figure if I pull it out, or if I don't pull it out, it'll end up being one of those that it is. That other one was a Denver, and this one's a Denver. Still no 24s. Hey. With saying kiddo, I'm assuming that is my mom. But it could be Vince. This one was a 1957. Yep, it's mom. That's what I kind of figured, but and it's not 40. Let's try 40s. Here we go. So what was it again? 57? Yeah. We have Anthony, Jim, Tim, and yes, my voice is a little bit still hoarse. Michael Rose, welcome. Don't know if you snuck in or if I just didn't see you. Yeah. It got worse on Saturday night. And then, of course, Sunday. Yeah, I slept 13 hours Saturday night, 16 hours on Sunday night. So we'll see how it is at the end of the regular stream part, if I do more or not, but still kind of tired and stuff, so I don't know if I want to push myself to open some dimes when I could probably go to bed. Hey, 3 flags. I've heard of 6 flags, but you got 3 flags. This is roll 24, so the next roll is halfway. So we'll do that halftime. We'll do a duck race. Yeah, I kind of go by what I'm kind of feeling. We'll open the duck race a little bit early. So exclamation GAW will get you in as spot. I'm just doing it that way so that we got plenty of time. Yeah, that's why I was kind of glad Monday was a holiday anyway, because I would have 2 mercs in the same roll today. Nice. Quick climbing holds. Say that 10 times fast. Exclamation GAW is going to get you in on a duck race for the halftime show. As an extra gift from Billy. Roll 25. Not the greatest box so far, but maybe the quality finds will come in the end. If not, I will definitely make it up for you. So if you want in on a chance for a 1-ounce copper round off my website, exclamation GAW will get you in on the duck race. Maybe we'll have another jetpack cheater. the only way you can explain it. He goes from all the way from the back to the very front in like 2 seconds. The modern nickels, I pull, of course, we pull anything from the 30s, 40s, 50s. I also pull the 64 Denvers to look for the D over D at the end of the night. I look for the 75 high D, which is a variety. I also pull out any 2009s and 2024s. Those are low mintage compared to normal years. Right now we're counting 2026s as finds. We also look for foreign, war nickels, any type of those varieties. I do have this that I use. It has some of the different, like D over Ds, D over S's, things like that. This is on my channel webpage. It's one of my downloads I have. It also shows the key dates and those semi-key dates. And then I have them so that, like on the back, you can have the buffalo nickels on the other side, clad quarters with silver quarters, that sort of thing. And resume entries for just a minute while I get this loaded up. So if you haven't gotten in, exclamation GAW will get you in. Right now I'm showing 24 people. As soon as I get that copy and pasted, if there's any stragglers, you'll get in, but we got Codster and Coke. You are now in there. So I'm going to close entries. Oh, what we have? Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. All right, let's go to monitor, edit the list. I don't know why they just put those names in there all the time. That's everybody that was on the thing. We have 26 people. Let's set it for 15 seconds. And off we go. Into the wild blue yonder. Is it going to be Joe? Write that down. Congratulations, Joe. So as usual, email me and I will get you a code. And again, if you live in Canada, please make sure you remind me because I have different codes for those Canadians. Oh, are we at a 50 likes it shows? I'm showing 50. So if you didn't win the duck race, you now have a chance to win another one. As usual, the regular exclamation gauze, you can only win one per night. The duck race and wheel of names are separate. So, Joe, you're still eligible to win. So again, it's just exclamation GAW will get you in on that giveaway. I've got approximately 50 different rounds. Which I can tell you for certain. I've got 62 different 1-ounce copper rounds that are eligible for the giveaway. I did add a few more that I had gotten in. Like I said, if I find a good deal on some, I will get them, but while we're waiting for the 50 likes, we can guess a coin. Yeah, I was gonna say I think the quickest I've ever seen it was 10 days. Usually it's around 15. I can say BH and MLN could tell you for sure, but I haven't gotten anything back, so they haven't sent it back. They haven't held it for ransom as far as I know. Yeah. Well, you could be like mine. I had a package coming and it was off by 10 digits. We were 84741 and they sent it on the truck to 84751. So it went to a town 2.5 hours away and they went to put it out for delivery and they then put it right back on the truck and sent it back to Vegas. We'll let Lori in with a 53, but it is a 58. Get that on the board and see who won. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from him. I told him I do them as giveaways and always looking to add, if it's a good deal. So BH times 2, sweet. And that's just in time for the giveaway. Well, since I saw Tim, go ahead and enter again real quick. Exclamation GAW. We'll give you a few seconds to get that in. while I send this code to Joe. Excuse me. So Joe, I sent that to you. If the code doesn't want to work, just let me know. I'll get you a different one. Once in a while, they for some reason just don't like to work. So, hey Joseph. All right, we got 25 people in, and the 50 like giveaway winner is Smoker. Congratulations, Smoker. I'm gonna say you know what to do. You have a box nickel, maybe we can pair our finds tonight. That would be cool. Unfortunately, tonight is not one of those high finding nights. If you're on the horizontal page, right over here, at the very edge of the screen, it shows. If you're on vertical, you won't be able to see it. But we have found 5 from 1940s, 3 from the 50s, and 2 2026s. So I accidentally did the dual vertical live thing. So if you're on the vertical, of course, you won't be seeing the coin count or the coin cam or the fines, that sort of thing, unfortunately. So you're only seeing this little bit, and we've got a whole bunch more. So you can always go over to the horizontal and see more of what's going on. Fuller experience. Last box is complete box of 26Ds. Nice. You could sell those on eBay. I've been still getting brand new boxes of 2024 and 2025 halves. So I'm behind on getting those back to the bank because I've got so many of them. But honestly, the easiest way to do it is you pick up the box and slam it on the other box, and pick it up and slam it, and then turn around and do the other side. And after a while, the box finally splits open, and you just gather them up. I found that is much quicker than unwrapping roll by roll. Not saying it's valid code. Okay, I was afraid that one might be. So let's get you another one. My OneDrive didn't sync up like it normally did. So I'm not sure exactly which code it didn't sync with. I just sent you another one. If that happens, I'll go to the very other part of the list that I know should be good. But and then if it ever tries to make you pay for shipping or anything, please look for the GOS shipping. If for some reason you do pay, I will do a refund, but it's just easier to not have to do that. No, you're not doing anything wrong. Let me get you a code from the very other end of the list. Pretty sure that one should be absolutely good. Like I said, it didn't sync like it because I had to have my computer replaced at work because it like basically died. So when it restored all my stuff, it didn't sync to my personal one like it should have. So it pulled an old sync in. So now I'm trying to get everything fixed and synced back up. Because I had it sync to my one at home. But if that doesn't work, just send me a... That worked. Okay, perfect. Like I said, I just got to figure out which code was the last one that was used, so I'll just have to go through my emails and see which ones I've sent out. What's the best nickels I've ever found? Found V-nickel. Some older Buffalo nickels. Found a 64 D over D. I found one of the hardest to find, which is a 50 Denver. That is a key date with only 2.63 million minted, and I did find one in the wild. I already had one that was bought, but I did find a 50D. Some silver war nickels. Those are part of 42, so not all of 42s, only some of them are. And then 43, 4, and 5 are silver. I think melt value at today was 75, 77, something like that. So melt value I think was about $4 or something. Yeah, it wasn't even like too far in. My very first box I ever opened and searched and did a recap on was a 1899 V nickel and a buffalo nickel. But there was no war nickel for that trifecta. The trifecta I do have in effect, so if you find a box with a V, a buffalo, and a war nickel, I give you a shield nickel. It is coal, but you can see the 5, and you can see the shield on it a little bit. But I mean, you can definitely tell that that is a 5. But that is a bounty if you get all 3. I have found key and semi-key dates for hunters. That's one of the things is you never know what kind of box you're going to get. You get a box with 35, 36 finds, and then you get a box with 12. We do find foreigns. A trickle, yeah, that'd be nice. But we do get foreigns. We do find proofs once in a while. That would be actually awesome. For anybody that has come in late, I do have 1 nickel box available and 1 penny box available. Hey, Muscle Shell. I was able to pick up 1 penny. Still didn't get me nickels like I asked, but hey, at least I picked up a penny. So after this one, I've got 1 nickel, 1 penny, and you can always order those on my website for whichever hunt you want. And then if more than 1 is sold, it'll just go in the queue for when I get more boxes. Found mostly 1 peso Mexican coins, a few occasions found 20 pence. We find what is it? It's the one from Switzerland. A Rappen, like 20 Rappen or whatever it is. Do find some ones from over there. We find Canadians. But I really, and you would think living in the Southwest, you know, in southern Utah, that you would find more Mexican coins. And that's just not the case. I really do not find Mexican coins often. Come on, focus. First one of the night. That is a 9. That's not a 2000. It's a 2009. We'll get that on the board because that is a find. But yeah, it's weird, you know, I really just don't find many pesos. Even in my half dollars. 2009 is a lower minted year. Also 2024 is a lower minted year. So usually they make like, you know, a billion nickels or whatever. It's just one of those that they did not make as many. I think it's what, 25 or 30 million or something instead of 100 million or something like that. So basically, because they're very low mintage, they're just a lot more scarce. So 09 is more scarce than 24, but 24s are also a low mintage. And thank you for asking questions. If you're not sure what we're doing or why we're pulling something out or what we're looking for, just ask. We like to help people learn. That's why we do this. It's a community. We like to help people learn about coins and why we look for them and what we're looking for and that sort of thing. So that's why I pull any 2024s and 2009s out, and then anything from the 50s or older. Also looking for the war nickels, which are silver. They're 35% silver. And those are part of 42. So 42 has regular nickels and some silver nickels because they transitioned in the middle of 42. So part of 42, all of 43, 44, and 4. All right. Guess what we just broke? There you go. Two and a half months. Finally, we've got one. And I don't think there's a mint mark on it, but it was kind of a weird looking edge. It was kind of a yellowish green color. It wasn't like a silver color, but it looked like more of like some weird toned looking color. So I flipped it, pulled them open, and it was like, ooh. And I'm going to guess that one is too. Nope. An older one, but no. Oh, yeah, we'll show you the date of the coin. We're just letting people guess for what they think the year is as an entry onto a wheel. A proof in this box? No. I found a proof in a box a couple hunts ago. So yeah, on this you put in what you think the year is, and whoever gets the closest is entry onto the wheel of names, and that's at the end of the night. I spin that wheel, and whoever wins the wheel gets a 1 ounce copper round off of my website. And I send that to you for free. Hey, Prezi, welcome. It won't be a 39. It'll have to be at least a 38 or older. 39 buffaloes were not made. They stopped in 38. So you want to guess 38 or older. So, yeah, just like Garrett put up 13 to 38, that is the years that you will want to guess between. So you're welcome to guess again if you've guessed outside of those years. Give you guys a little bit of a chance to change things if you put one in. Hey, Silverman, Old Bell. And I made sure it had a date before I put it under there because I've done that before and was like, oops, there's no date. So I put everybody on the wheel. So we'll get the rest of your guesses in because I've got another one to put under there. So that will be the new one. This one is dated. It is a 1930 Philly. Just wondering, just want to look at one thing on my I'll have to look at it later. 30, I know we got at least one person. If I can find who they were again. Crafty. Crafty times 2. Because if you hit it exactly on and you're the only one to do that, you get double entries onto the wheel. But I'll get that on the board. It's a 30 Buffalo. By that time, I'm sure that our guesses will be Hey, Dutch Murphy. Welcome. There we go. We'll let Dutch in at 56. You almost got it. Same with Michael Rose. Let you in because I hadn't flipped it quite yet when I saw it pop up. So we got at least Michael Rose and Raymond, I see, with 57 also. Let's see who else after I get it on the board. Anybody else with 57? Thomas Wells, Otis, Jim. Not quite 1,930, but a 1930. On ones like that, I usually put the year on that. Like if it was a V nickel or something, I try to put the year after it. I know. But in case if there's some new person that was like, what? You found that many? Because some people don't know. No, I don't want to insert an ad. Shut up. But finding 1,930 in one box would be just absolutely phenomenal. That would be outstanding. I wanted to say Lincoln, but it's L Nikon. When I first looked at it, I was thinking Lincoln. The bar is a like a tip meter. So instead of a super chat, if you do a tip, it takes help down, and that is called Stream Boss. So if you take over Stream Boss, you're up there until someone else takes you over. And you can always do exclamation tip to see what that tip line is. I got lots of different commands. All the worthless coins, the ones that are just regular, like 2020, 1986, those I just take back to the Jim Thompson gifted a gold coin. Thank you, Jim. I just take back to the bank and return it, put it back in my account. So when you buy the nickel or penny hunt, whichever, you're getting all the fines, which are all of those. So the Buffalo, the 40s, 50s, 09s, 26s. If there was any 24s, like one night we had 20 of them. The other night we had 19. We had a V nickel, all those, that kind of stuff you get to keep. And then all the regular non-fines is just goes back to the bank. I do have different kinds of hunts. There's a No Frills, which you can see scrolling at the bottom is a $15. It's no guarantees whatsoever. It's just whatever you find. You have a $25 hunt where you can get either a nickel pack, a penny pack, or 5 1-ounce copper rounds. And then there's also a $40 hunt, which gives you a 5-ounce copper round. I must have already put them away, but I was going to show you some of those I got, but I don't have it. Alrighty. Any other guesses? Let's get your guesses in. Come on, focus. There we go. A 1953 5-3. So the 50s have now tied the 40s. Get that on the board, and then we'll see who got it. All right, 53. 56. 54. I think 54 is the closest. And Garrett says yes. Brian said finished nickel box and had nickel box had 11 from the 40s, with 2 of them being war, and 14 from the 50s. That's a good box. It's 26. That's how a lot of ours have been. The highest I think we had was 36 for I think BH. We've had some high ones in the 30s. And again, if you're scrolling through on vertical, I am on the horizontal with all the other information that has all the fines and the stream boss and the coin cam and things like that. I started keeping track of them, I think, last year. But I do track that as one of my stats. I track also a column for extras. So like if you find a coin that someone needs, someone's like, oh, I need a 1954 for my book. I pull those out and put it in as an extra so it keeps track of what I give away. But we do get miscellaneous. Probably one of the strangest miscellaneouses that I've ever gotten was in a $50 box, a crematorium tag. It's the same roundness, just not as thick. But it was like, wow, that's weird. I wonder if not in there. Is it in here? Not in there either, so I'm not sure where it is. Sorry, my screw came out of my light. Or my light. Oh, come on. There we go. There, that should hold it for now. Yeah. I could see how that could be considered creepy, but it doesn't weird me out. My brother was worked in a mortuary for a while. Went to school for mortuary science. Then he ended up changing careers and went into the Army, so. But he did that, and I've been around growing up in Wyoming, a bunch of hunting and stuff like that. So it was never really a kind of a weird thing for me. But yeah, I can see how that is. It's a decent 64. I doubt it's going to be a D over D because those nicer ones never are. Yeah, if you're looking for them in the wild, that 50D is going to be one of the hardest. And of course, the key date, even some of the semi-key dates. So I do know some people that, buy like, the 50Ds and things like that. I was lucky that I had bought a BU 50D, but then I also did find one later in the wild, so. But you do come across quite a few interesting items. In hunts. Another interesting one that I came across was a 9 months sober recovery token. So that was a little kind of a odd one. So whoever had that, hopefully they're doing good. Probably one of those things where it just got picked up out of, pocket change and without realizing it or something. Nine rolls left. At least we've got that pesky buffalo out of the way. The one that's been 2.5 months of searching. So I guess you picked a good box. And I don't know why we always find these while we have a coined being guessed, but there you go. Another 2009. With the one under the coin cam, we're at, let's see, 1, 11, 15, 16 finds. Hey, Kentucky Fried. We had 5 gifted memberships tonight and some jewels and stuff donated. Appreciate all that. And that's just the way I open them, is I find the seam right here and I put the knife underneath and then rip the end off. And then what I do is I crumple up the paper and I have an empty cardboard box that I will throw it all into. And when it gets full, you can just chuck the entire box, or if you don't have another box, you can just empty it. And on like the boxes, I just rip them down. All right. Is one of the ugliest ones in here, and it's the newest of all the old years, 1959. I know that was going to throw a lot of people off because they were expecting it to be older because it was so nasty and horrible. KJ at 58. Nice. Yep. Just like people, sometimes they look horrendous when they're not even that old. And other times you find one and it's like, man, that's nice looking, and it's like, whoa. Or as I guess you'd say, as the saying goes, rode hard and put away wet. She's talking about me. Hey, to each their own. Come on. There we go. Only the truth hurts. Or stubbing your toe in the middle of the night, that hurts too. Stepping on Legos. I'm one of those weird ones. I would like go to the mailbox in winter in my bare feet with, hey, copper out, with snow and stuff on the ground. And yes, I know I'm weird. That's a nice 64D. Hopefully that'll be a D or D, which I really doubt. We finally broke our Buffalous, however you want to say it. I don't know. Streak of 2.5 months, but we finally broke it. Thank you, Crafty. This one is a 56. I know at least Mike got it. Mike S. Who else? Anybody? Get that on the board and we'll see. Bisonless, yes. Wolf and a new Marshall also. Thank you, guys. Bisonlessness. And I usually take half of them, and that way I can play with them one-handed. Otherwise, they try to go flying everywhere. Because then I can keep them contained. Absolutely, make it more gooder. Or you can make it more better or good. I don't know where the boxes that had all the 2024s in for the two, but the last one was a 56, I believe. Yep, 56. 5 rolls left with this one. Yeah, no problem. I do usually stream every Monday and Thursday at 5:30 Mountain. That's a little bit blurry. I was going to say fuzzy, but there we go. But I do stream usually those nights, not every single time, like sometimes like on a holiday or something, you know, it may not. But usually on normal, it's Monday and Thursdays, 5:30 Mountain Time. Usually we hunt nickels. One, I can get penny boxes. We do have penny boxes. I was cut off from pennies back in September. I finally got a box Wednesday. So I have 2 boxes available for hunts. A nickel box and a penny box. You're always welcome to, of course, buy future hunts for when I do get more boxes. But it's one of those that, like I said, right now I've got 2 boxes left, so don't know what I'll do next, not next week Monday, but the Monday after that, a week and a half, because I won't have a box. I'll have my quarters and dimes, but no pennies or nickels. But I do have those both listed on my website, so you can always take a look and see. If you do want it, of course, do it that way. Thank you, Crafty. We're back in the 40s, 1949. Started off with like 4 or 5 from the 40s, and then finally started getting some 50s, and now we're back into the 40s. So 49, did anybody get 49? Got a 46, 47, 49 with Kentucky Fried. It's the only one I see is the Kentucky Fried 2. And a couple people, yes. So, Kentucky Fried times 2. Woohoo! That is one of the emojis that you get as a member, is a spot on or bullseye or something like that. And as a member, you get extra emojis that you can play with. Kentucky sent GG's for 20 jewels. Thank you, Kentucky Fried. Nailed it. That's it. Hey, Wheat Scent Whisperer, welcome. Yeah, it's funny. They offered me some, and I was like, yeah. Said I'd still rather take more boxes of nickels than pennies, but I was like, I'll take pennies. That's the one thing is I live in a very rural, small town. We have 2 banks and a credit union. The one bank is a big bank, Zions National Bank. They call themselves different things. I think in Colorado they call themselves Vectra Bank. But they have like 7 different banks that they're under. That's under Zions. And then we have a state bank and a credit union. So the main big bank basically only deals with the businesses and the ones that have been here for, lots of buku money. So I have my bank where I get my halves and some nickels. And then the credit union is where I get the nickels and quarters and dimes. So the nearest bank after that is an hour away. And that's in the bigger area. It's, I don't know, 20,000 people or something. So basically I have 1 bank and 1 credit union. Just like with my halves, if I don't take them, the bank won't order more. So that's why I've got a buttload of 24 and 25 halves, brand new. I really need to break more open and get them back to the bank. Luckily, my credit union has a coin machine in their lobby that is it's a Coinstar, but it's not a big green one. It's just like a gray one that they put in bank lobbies. And they charge non-members 6% and business members 3%. And if you're a member, you can just deposit straight to your account and it doesn't cost you anything. So they don't care if I use it because they don't service it. So that is where I dump all my coin. Last roll. See, on that box that I throw all the wrappers in, I just rip the side off and then just throw that all in there. That time again. All right. Thanks, Jim. You have a good night. You never know. Jim has won the wheel before. So like I said, you do not have to be present to win. So me, I usually use a Sam's Club box, but Amazon works too. But basically, I just throw them all in there, and then I can just chuck the entire box. In the dumpster. So Jim is one of our longtime mods. He helps out a ton, along with the other ones like KJ and putting the guess of the year and all that kind of stuff that helps me find where we start guessing at. The regular bank that I go to, if I returned it to them, they use their coin machine, roll them, and then I would just be getting the same ones back. So it's kind of would be pointless to take it to them. 63, look for triple die reverse, TDR as we call it. We actually had 3 of those tonight, which is usually not the case. I think it's just that gouge that kind of threw me off, but at first I was like, is that one? But no, not that I'm seeing. Don't find many 63 fillies. Didn't find a ton of 64 Denvers, but still a decent amount. And again, on the 31st, the pre-summer sale is ending. And June will start a new one. AAG. So it'll end the 31st, and then on the 1st, I'm starting the new one, which is every $30 of copper products. So it can be, you know, mixed of 1, 5, 3 ounce, whatever. For every $30 in copper spent, you get a free copper round. Alrighty, so we'll do the end of stream and wheel entry, so exclamation GAW. While I go through what we found. So we had 2 2026s. We had 2 2009 Denvers. We had 7 1950s. So we had 56, a 59, a 53, a 57, a 58, a 57, and a 54. So 54, or 53, 54, 56, 57, 58, and 59. We had 6 from the 40s. So 49, a 48, a 40, a 41, a 41, and a 47. The 48 was not a... No, the 49, it was not the key date, and the 48 was not the... or the semi-key date, I mean. So neither of those were the semi-key dates. And the star of the show 1930. Out of Philly. So what did we end up with? 15, 19. So it didn't end up being too horrible. Yes, a 1930. So I've got your fines. I have your Tree of Life. And then some swag for you and the kids and husband. So some pens and stickers and that sort of thing. Let's resume that because it looks like it stopped and a few of you had tried and it didn't get you in, I don't think. So try it again. I had Dutch Murphy was the last one that got in, it said. So if you're not sure if you got it, try it. It'll only let you enter once. So, oh, Jolly Roger got in. Oh, we got to find the oldest of the night. So now let's sort by the year. It was a 1930. And I want to sort by year this time. Most were 37, 38, and 39s, and 40s. But Crafty had 34, so 4 off. But BH had 1928, which was only 2 off. So BH was the winner. And alright, now let's go back to what I was doing. We got 29 people in. close those entries. I'm doing it right now. I'm just going to copy that so I can get all the names, because this is an entry into the giveaway and the wheel of names. Alrighty. So the winner of the end of stream part, Brian Robinson. Wheel of names, we have 70 people. Going to shuffle it up a bit. All the ones with an @ are the ones I took off of the entries. B. Waller. Congratulations, Blaine. There was 2 on that. I think he already left, but I can always email him too. Sorry, I was slacking on points. So Prezi, Wheat Scent Whisperer, 949. Coakley Claiming Holds, however you say it, I apologize. And El Nikon. And I'm assuming someone just subscribed, I'm guessing. I didn't see what it was. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll just send. Hey, B Waller. I was about to just say I was just going to send you your code. I'm sure everybody has seen this before, but come to my Dad Hunts coins, come to copper, any of my regular 1 ounce copper rounds. You can see front and backs. You can look at what they look like. If you go, I want that one, you add it to your cart. And then you come in here and you put your discount code that I send you, and it drops it to 0, and you choose the GA shipping if it asks for it. Let me get Yes, email sent. I know many of you have already done this before, but I always put those directions in there also. So Blaine, I sent you your email for that. Oh, sweet. It's nice, AG. That's cool. So yeah, any of my 1 ounce copper rounds, I have, what did I say, 64 to choose from? 62. So 62 available 1 ounce copper rounds that are GA eligible. Yeah, I just saw that. That's cool. If you want, I can show them. Let me do this and see if it... Yeah, that works better. So this is AG's new card for his channel. There's that one. And the other side. So 2.5 grains. So he's got his logo and stuff, QR, and a 2.5 grain laminated in that. So that's the one side, and then that's the, I guess the same side, but you can see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. That's kind of cool. So that's pretty cool looking, especially when you see you get 2.5 grains of silver, and it's just a fun thing. You usually see those like in the gold ones and things, but those are cool. I'm working on my getting some business cards made up. I'll show you here what I've come up with. Basically, this is the front and the back. So the front will have my logo, this kind of stuff, and the back will have my Hunter's Heat. So basically, it'd be two-sided. So now I've just got to look at actually getting them made up. But it took me a while to kind of get it the way I wanted it exactly, and I think that works pretty well. So, hey, IT. So then I figured I'd get those made up, and then I can always include them in every packages and stuff. So. I think I've got everybody's. See, I got Blaine's, Brian's, John's, Joe's. Okay. So I was gonna say, I think I've got everybody sent. For your rounds. But yeah, I've got 62 rounds, so you got plenty to choose from. You can always add additional stuff. Also, it'll just discount that one down, obviously. Yes, check out Fervit's Finds, AG, Texas Hunts, and Muller. Trying to think who else has some like 500 subscriber type things coming up. Yeah, you're welcome, Joe. I do get stuff in all the time. I put them on the website. Some of them I put on as pre-sale, so you can always see those. If it says pre-sale, it just means I don't have them in stock at the moment, but they are coming. I have a few that are numbered, like serial numbered. Oh, yeah, definitely be well. You're very welcome. And then I usually get those sent out. Like if they come in tonight, I usually try to get them ready that night. Otherwise, they'll go out on Monday. So usually the next day they're in the mail, but if who else has any 500? I know there's a few that I've got Fervids, AGs. I'm not sure what Texas Hunts Coins is at, but I know he was trying to get to the 500. Of course, all the other channels, but you guys are great. I'm not sure if I really want to open any things just because I'm still getting, you can hear my voice, but we finally broke our buffalo streak, which is awesome. So it's kind of a 5K. Okay, I was thinking it was way more than 500, but I was like, maybe it was 500, but no, 5K. Okay. Just in your mind, you see the 5, and everybody else is like 500, and so. I really need to sharpen this. This was my dad's knife, and so I've just been using it to open coins. It's gotten quite dull from having to cut some boxes open, but I'll get it sharpened again. I've got a whetstone. My son, Grandpa gave him a kind of a dull, older pocket knife, and so my son used it. He goes, "How do I use it?" And I said, "How do you think you use it?" So he jumped on a YouTube and found a thing and asked me, "Is this how you do it?" And I was like, "Yep." So he sharpened it himself and got a pretty decent edge on it for only being 12. Oh, what else? I have been labeling some of these that don't all fit in like one tube, so I have them as miscellaneous 1 and miscellaneous 2 and miscellaneous 3 and colored and Easter. But I've got lots and lots and lots of stuff. That's about it. I will probably get your package out tonight, Wolf. So that'll go out in the mail, and then that'll be Friday morning. So hopefully we'll get it by, I'm guessing, Tuesday, because it's usually about 5 days. Anyway, and if there's anything, like if you see something on the website that you're wanting me to show up close, just ask and I can do that for you. Because I can only show you the actual item if I have it. Some of the stuff I'm getting in is a little bit higher end, I guess you'd say. It's the like the Geiger and stuff like that. This is the newest stuff that I've put on in the last week or so, which was the 5-ounce hatching dragon. The AI, it is numbered. I've got that one. These are coming. Those are coming. I've got those coming. The Count Dracula, Pennywise, and Joker. I do have those coming. The 5-ounce Libertad. I've got colored 1-ounce. These are the ones that are stacked, that are kind of concave and stuff. The Schloss Golsa, however you say it. Those are higher end ones. These are 100 gram limited edition American flag out of 5,000. These are 500 gram Geigers. 1-ounce maple, winter maple. And these are the two numbers that I have, 3975 and 4008. I don't have those yet. Those are coming. So if there is a particular one, if you're first in line, you can choose it. And I got this one. This one here is number 19 out of 5,000. That is crazy. I just happened to luck into that one. Number 19 out of 5. Pour some gravy on me. Yeah. I think I've got 2 left of those, it says. But the Geigers and the Schloss Golsa are, of course, you're paying for the name on that, the Geigers, so those are a little more pricey. Yeah, I've got picked up 5 of those. Got that 1 ounce, a 1 ounce, that's 1 ounce. These are individually numbered out of 25,000, so I'm not sure exactly which ones I have, but I have a few colored ones. 5 ounces, these are individually numbered. I've got 2 of those left. Some of these are like, they say it's a 5,000 limited edition, but I don't think they're numbered. This one is numbered, it's 4167. No, you're good, AG. I do that. I usually watch things on 2x speed because it's just easier for me to watch that way. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why I have 2 of those on there. And I got 2 of those on there. Why is that duplicated? Why is that duplicated? Why is that duplicated? I'll have to double check it. Anyway. Lots and lots of rounds. I will show you some of the new ones I got in. Got some Florida Panthers. I got, and it's been in for a week or so. And these ones, I already had the bars, but now I have some rounds. Got some of those. On one of the lots that I bought, I ended up getting like 60 different Trump ones. So I've got plenty of Trump stuff. It just happened to be what the lot was, and didn't realize there was that many, but oh well. I have people ask for it, so I'm one of those. I don't care which party you go for, but some of these I get, some of these I chose. I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, some of these don't mess with me ones. Those are kind of newer. Yeah, I don't know why it's duplicated from those 4. That's weird. Donald Trump Space Force. That's the front and back of it. Yep, I've got only 2 left of those, so if you want it, you'd probably want to get it. Right now they are 10% off. It is ending soon, but you get 10% off of all my copper. But for the Trump stuff, I've got the side profile, I've got the Space Force, I've got Great Awakening, Trump Portrait, Trump Defender with the big gun, POTUS Takes Back Lafayette Square, Trump Biden 2020, the Corona, and Mugshot. Dad Hunts Coins. So dadhuntscoins.com, you just come to Copper tab, So when you land, you'll see this. But if you land on copper, you just come down to whichever one. So you would just click it. You would just go add to cart. Once it's in your cart, it's going to knock it down on price, and then you just check out. And then on delivery, for me, it collects taxes because I'm in Utah. So if you live in Utah, you'll pay taxes, by the way. So because you already see that. And then on the shipping, you can just do the economy envelope. And that is, like I said, you wouldn't pay taxes on yours unless you live in Utah. But it'd be like $4 something, it looks like. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. And I'm always adding things as I get it. I add items. Right now, my pre-summer collection is going to end on the 31st. That is all my merch plus my copper. And June 1st, it will be buy $30 in any amount of copper. So it could be some 5-ounce rounds, or it could be a bunch of 1-ounce rounds, or 3-ounce and 1-ounce, whatever. But it'll be for every $30 in copper you buy, you get a free copper round. So just give you the heads up for next month's special. Try to do something, something that's kind of different each time. Of course, a lot of it's focusing on copper, but yeah, there's the link. It's easy to remember. It's just my channel name, dadhuntscoins.com. And for those that are using my Amazon link, it's one extra click. You come to my website and then click Amazon, and it takes you to Amazon. Whatever you buy, it doesn't have to be stuff that I recommend or anything. But all of that does give me a little bit of 1-2%, depending on what category it is. But for those that have been using it, I appreciate it. I do have 8 of these left in stock. I know 2 people in town want to buy one, so it might be down to 6 bottles left. But I do have my magnet and stickers in. So I think I have 8, and then if I sell those other 2 to the people in town, it'll be down to 6. So but dadhuntscoins.com. I kind of did that. Yeah, I saw there was a big order. It doesn't tell me, of course, who or what they bought. It just shows the amount and how many items shipped. So it'll say, 5 items shipped, and then it tells the percentage. I think on that, it goes by when it was actually shipped out. But I can give you an idea. Yeah, I had an order for $140.93, possibly. I had an order, someone placed $174, someone placed $209, someone placed $135. If you did yours on the 5th, May 5th was the $140 one. That one actually gave me not quite $5 in kickback. So a lot of it depends on what items you're buying, because the order that was $209 was only half. They actually give you cash once you hit at least $10 in a month. May 23rd. Yeah, I have one for $135.13. 8 items ordered. 4 of them have shipped. So right now it only shows the earnings on shipped stuff. So those 4 items, which was $77 in revenue, is $2.31. Like I said, it depends on what category, because I know some categories you get more, like if it's beauty products or something, I think you get a higher percentage. Office supplies or something, you get a higher percentage. So it does help out. Last month, well, so far in May, $724 has been ordered, $613 has been shipped, and I've made $22. I'm not afraid of showing it. So like I said, it doesn't tell me who or what it was. It just shows me the date, how many items ordered. This, they go, oh, there was 5 different clicks and there was 8 items, so it's 160%. Yeah. And like on this one, it was shipped 4 items, so that gave me 270. This one 4, that one was 5, it was 65. So I mean, I'm not going to get rich off of it, but it's kind of like my ad revenue. I make $4 or $5 a month in ad revenue. Most of the revenue comes from the memberships that are donated, like Jim Thompson donated tonight, or super chats, that sort of thing. $54 nickel, nice. So I'm always adding things to my store, so you can always check back every now and then and look at it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, is the shipping is, for one round, it's basically $1.50. We'll just round down to $1.50. So, when I ship, like tonight, 5 of them, that's what, $5, $7, $10 almost. Once you factor in the actual cost of the card and things that I put them in. But yeah, it's more for kind of just fun and entertainment, and like I said, I'm not gonna be able to quit my day job or anything, so if it gives me enough to cover my shipping and buying supplies and stuff to do that. Because, like, I buy these as a set, so it comes with a card and envelope. That's, I think, 20 cents. But it kind of went quicker than I expected getting to where I'm at. So I've only, like I said, I was live streaming for 9 months now, and I only became monetized in the middle of February. So about 3.5 months now. But yeah, like my ad revenue, I make like 60 cents off a short ad revenue. I think it's like $8 I've made in like live stream revenue, ads that if people watch it later and things. And then a lot of it is memberships. And then just like super chats and donation and things. So, but again, I do have 2 boxes available, and on that you would just come to coins. So I have a nickel and I have a penny. And it's the same thing, it's just either nickel or penny, but I do have one of each available. So if anybody's wanting one, as they come in, if there's more than one order, whoever gets first, and then the rest will go on back order. But tonight we had 5 new members. Jim Thompson donated those. I know we had some gems donated. Had 60 likes, I think it said. 61 likes. So we'll get to the 75 and then 100 someday, but we have hit the 75 a few times. Tonight's drink was Barks. Hey, AG sent thumbs up for 10 joules. Sweet. I find when I drink a can, once I empty it, I always kind of crush it a bit. And that way, if I set it down and then later I don't come along and grab it and try to drink out of it again. I just have done that for years and it works for me. And those joules are 2 joules equal 1 cent. And I think this month I'm not quite half and half super chat and joules. Because joules turn into gems, so 2 joules equal 1 gem, and 1 gem equals 1 penny. So it's basically 2 joules equal 1 penny. And that's what's replacing super stickers when you're on mobile. Anyway, I'm going to sign off, and like I said, I do have openings on Monday and Thursday. 1 penny, 1 nickel. And then the next Monday after that, I don't know what I'll do. I might just open a box of quarters live and just chat. So I would open more coins, but I'm still not quite up to par, as you can hear. but it's more of just yeah, the like PayPal or the tip line um, is basically the same thing. It's just the PayPal fees. Um, so the tips are whatever PayPal. It's like 3.49% plus 49 cents per transaction. So basically, it comes out to be about 90% of, like, on a, say, $10 or something, I get like 8 something. It's basically like a 10% instead of a 30%. Yep, a 1930 Buffalo dated, clear date too. You can see the whole 1930. It was a 30 filly. And it's one of those that I would have loved to have found it because I think, no, those aren't the ones I need. Those are the ones I have. Hey, Kathy Keith. Thank you. Just in time for signing off. I'm not going to open more coins tonight because I'm not feeling still 100%. So there you go. We got 19 finds tonight, including the 26s. But there you go. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you Monday. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I slept 13 hours on Saturday night and 16 hours on Sunday night. So 30 hours in 2 days is pretty good. All right. Good night.